Alright, Pretender here, back with another Honkai Star Rail discussion slash guide, and today I'm mainly going to be going over the versus debate between Ruan Mei and Sparkle. So what I will be doing is I'm going to briefly be going over both of their kits, their strengths, why they're so good, and why they're the top of Harmony buffers at the moment, and then I'll be giving my opinion on who I think is better and better going forward. Ever since the release of Sparkle, there has been just some debate between the two. I did make a community post asking you guys what you guys thought on this topic, and so I'll also be briefly mentioning over what I mostly saw there, because for the most part, it was around the same general conclusion. But yeah, before I get into the video, if you guys could drop a sub and turn on the bell icons for future videos like this, along with other types of guides, showcases, summons, and news, all that kind of stuff, would be greatly appreciated, and let's go straight into the video. So let's start off by talking about why Ruan Mei is so good. So she does provide a bunch with her skill alone, giving a damage increase and weakness break efficiency increase to all allies, and is very skill point efficient. You just have to pop this once every 3 turns, and with that up, you get a 32% damage increase and a 50% weakness break efficiency increase for your team. So just from the skill alone, you get a bunch provided, also being really skill point efficient. And now we move on to the ultimate, which does so much for the team. So when you do have her ultimate up for 2 turns, your entire team gets an all-type res pen increased by 25%, and pretty much what this summarizes is when an enemy's weakness broken, when they recover from it, you'll extend the duration and pretty much delay the action by an amount equal to 20% of Ruan Mei's break effect plus 10%, and you deal break damage equal to 50% of Ruan Mei's ice break damage. So you do extend their weakness break, not letting them attack for longer, and you do deal some damage to them. So combining the skill up with the ultimate, you get an all-type res pen, you get an extend to weakness break, you get some extra damage when you do have them recover from the weakness break and then it gets extended. You get a damage increase and a weakness break efficiency from the skill. This benefits practically every single team in the game we have currently. Not only that, with the talent she provides even more support. So she just gives the entire team a speed increase by 10% for everyone but her, and when allies break an enemy target's weakness, Ruan Mei deals damage to this enemy target. Break damage equal to 120% of her ice break damage, so she does even more damage to them, providing some extra damage on top. Not only that, with bringing her up to the bonus abilities, for the more break effect she has, it exceeds 120. Her skill additionally increases all allies damage by 6% up to a maximum of 36%. So building her up to 180% break effect gives you an extra 36% damage dealt. So you take that 36, you add it to 32, and so in total you're getting a 68% damage increase for all your allies. She also does regenerate 5 energy at the start of her turn, helping her to keep the uptime up more. And with the last one, she does increase everyone's break effect. Again, break effect really good for literally any DPS in the game. Dot, crit based, anything. She's just really good. So overall, Ruan Mei just provides a bunch for the team. Everything she provides is going to be beneficial. Extra damage, extending the weakness break, giving damage dealt, giving speed, and giving weakness break efficiency, and also break effect. All that kind of stuff. She just gives everything. And now moving on to the topic of Sparkle. So why Sparkle is so good is she gives you an insane buff to crit damage and also gives you a 50% action forward to who you select. So when you select someone, usually a DPS, you increase their crit damage by 24% of Sparkle's crit damage plus 45% for 1 turn, and you give them a 50% action forward. So this, tuned properly, is really good because you can have your DPS just continuously attack, and obviously buffing the crit damage, they do way more damage than they normally would do without Sparkle. And another big selling point for her is she practically fixes the issues of skill points. She overcaps your skill points by 2, so now you have 7 with the help of the talent, and when you pop her ultimate, she recovers 4 skill points. Combine these two together, you increase the damage of your team as well. So you provide a damage dealt increase for your team whenever an ally consumes a skill point. It stacks up to 3 times, lasts for 2 turns, and when you pop the ultimate, that effect is increased by 10%. So overall, getting a really nice damage boost. Combine that with the DPS you're buffing, becomes really good. With the bonus abilities, you give everyone a 15% attack unconditionally, so that's really nice, and if you are running her on Mono Quantum, you get even more of a boost. And she also does have it where if you use your basic attack, which for the most part you won't be using because you're going to be being skill point efficient with the team, you're always going to want to be using her skill, and so overall you can practically ignore this. But when times come down, because there will be times where maybe occasionally you will not have enough to use her skill, this helps out because you get 10 energy back for your ultimate. And obviously the crit damage boost effect provided by the skill will be extended until the start of the next target's turn is also very good. So overall, with this kit, tuning a DPS into Sparkle's needs, obviously being 1 to 2 less, or the 160 speed Sparkle, which I did go into more depth on my build guide, which you can check out in this related section. She can give you a massive damage boost, making you hit incredibly hard. And so using her with skill point demanding characters such as Danheng or QQ, or just in Mono Quantum in general, and other kinds of DPSs that are crit based and use a bunch of skill points, she is really good. And now comes to the question of which one of these 2 Harmony buffers is the best. Who is the queen of Starro for Harmony supports at the moment. So again, I did make a community post asking what you guys thought, and for the most part, most people did have the same outlook as I did. And that spot goes to Ruan Mei, mainly due to the fact that Ruan Mei is extremely universal and you can put her on literally every team. Every team that has a DPS, you can put Ruan Mei. The team could just not have a DPS and you could still put Ruan Mei, making your supports do more damage. Everything she provides is beneficial. She increases your damage by a lot. She gives you a lot of weakness break efficiency and break effect. She extends the weakness break durations. She applies more damage, increases your speed, gives you all type res pen with the ult. She does everything. She works on every team. Teams with Blade, teams with Zele, teams with QQ, teams with Danheng, teams with Doc characters like Kafka, Black Swan. She works everywhere. And that is why I think she has the edge over Sparkle at the moment. Sparkle obviously would be considered better in a mono quantum standpoint because obviously it's mono quantum. You can be running 4 quantum characters. That team struggles with skill points, so Sparkle would be a great option for that. And another instance where she is still better is someone like Danheng, who just eats skill points and you practically need her to keep continuously providing him skill points. While Sparkle is probably the second best Harmony support in the game due to that, there are some characters where just running Ruan Mei is just a better option. Mainly coming to the Dot team. The Dot team right now, consisting of Kafka, Black Swan, whatever, is one of the strongest teams in the game right now thanks to what Black Swan can do and what Kafka and Black Swan can do together. Because of those two, it is a very prominent team at the moment. And Sparkle, while she can sort of help with the damage boost and the skill points, the team is kind of skill point hungry, but with Black Swan, you don't have to always use her AoEs and such. Ruan Mei is still just way better on the team because they benefit from damage dealt, they benefit from speed, they benefit from weakness break, all that kind of stuff. While Sparkle does give some damage dealt with these two combined, while she also does give attack, she mainly is focused on the crit damage. That is her biggest part, is she gives you such a massive crit damage bonus. Obviously, the initial hits on your Dot characters can crit, but you don't build Dot characters with crit. So overall, Sparkle isn't the greatest option for a Dot team. And as I was mentioning, there are some characters that are less skill point hungry, such as Jinglu and Blade, which I've talked countlessly in the past, where I do think other supports would be better. And with characters like that, Ruan Mei would still overall be better, just making the team skill point positive overall, and also making it to where you just give them more of an overall buff rather than just that one turn. So someone like Blade Jinglu can benefit more on a team with Ruan Mei over someone like Sparkle. Don't get me wrong, Sparkle is still really good with those two, but just in general, Ruan Mei is a better option. And so that's what most of the community thinks, and that's what I also think overall is better. That's why we do think Ruan Mei overall is the better option at the moment. Now, as for going forward in the future of Starro, Sparkle, can she become better than Ruan Mei? And I think yes. With more DPSs coming out, there might be more teams made to where the team is really skill point hungry. And Sparkle is extremely good and is the only one that can give you so many skill points. Not only that, is with the increase of DPS characters coming to the game basing off crit mainly, Sparkle's value will continuously grow and grow and grow with the more DPS releases that are crit based. And if they are DPS, there are more chances than not they will be crit based if they are not Dot, and for the most part they will be skill point efficient. If they're a character like Blade, or if they're transforming character like Jinglu where they end up not consuming skill points or using their basic attack like that, then the question becomes, Ruan Mei, is she going to be better? But overall, I think Starro is going to go the path where the skill becomes a lot more important than just enhancing basic attacks and not using skill points. I think the skill point meta is definitely going to be more of a thing we can assume in the future. And that's why I think Sparkle's potential can easily end up growing and becoming more than Ruan Mei in the future. But obviously we don't know that now. That can just be wrong. I could just be completely wrong about that. But that's what I do think. So again, I do think Ruan Mei is still just better overall just because of all she provides and the fact that she goes on every single team. But I do think with what Starro is doing, I think the potential of Sparkle can grow and she could potentially outshine Ruan Mei one day. And so yeah, that is the video. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys like using Ruan Mei more? Do you guys like using Sparkle more? Who do you use more? All that kind of stuff. Me personally, I agree Ruan Mei is still better. But personally, I like using Sparkle infinitely more. She just benefits my teams more because I am a mono quantum user. I really like using Danheng. I like using just those kind of teams that are skill point hungry, and I don't really use Ruan Mei that much unless I'm using a Dot team or just a team that doesn't need skill points too much, because I don't really use my Blade that much anymore at the moment, but I do use teams that are skill point hungry. So overall, right now, I like using Sparkle more, but everyone's different, so let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.